This is Engadget. Here's what's happening in the world of technology. It's Monday, March 13th. SpaceX's Crew-5 mission has safely returned to Earth. On Saturday evening, the company's Endurance Dragon spacecraft splashed down off the coast of Florida following a 5-month stay at the International Space Station. The capsule was carrying NASA astronauts Josh Cassada and Nicole Mann, Japan's Koichi Wakata, and Russian cosmonaut Anna Kikina. The four spent 157 days in orbit during an ISS rotation that was one for the history books. As Space.com points out, the Crew-5 mission saw Mann, a member of the Wailaki people, become the first Native American woman to fly in space. It was also the first time a Russian cosmonaut flew aboard a private American spacecraft, a milestone made possible after NASA and Roscosmos signed a seat-sharing agreement last year amid increasing U.S. and Russian tensions due to the war in Ukraine. For Wakata, the flight was his 5th return from space, a Japanese record. The mission also marked the second orbital trip for Endurance after the capsule successfully carried the Crew-3 crew back to Earth last fall. The spacecraft will now return to SpaceX's Dragon Lair facility in Florida for safety checks and refurbishment ahead of its next flight. Not on the flight was NASA astronaut Frank Rubio, who flew to the ISS on MS-22, the Russian Soyuz spacecraft that sprung a coolant leak late last year following an apparent micrometeoroid strike. The Endurance crew temporarily retrofitted their ride to carry Rubio in case of an emergency evacuation from the ISS after Roscosmos determined MS-22 could only safely transport 2 people. They later removed those modifications after Russia sent a replacement Soyuz spacecraft to bring Rubio and cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin back to Earth. And General Motors is working on an in-car digital assistant based on the same machine learning models that power ChatGPT. News of the development was first reported earlier this week by Semaphore, with GM later sharing confirmation with Reuters. ChatGPT is going to be in everything, GM Vice President Scott Miller told the outlet. Among other things, the automaker envisions the digital assistant supporting drivers in situations where they may have turned to their vehicle's owner manual in the past. For instance, the assistant could show you how to replace your car's tire if it suffers a flat. It could also offer integration and scheduling features with other devices, including garage door openers. This shift is not just about one single capability like the evolution of voice commands, but instead means that customers can expect their future vehicles to be far more capable and fresh overall when it comes to emerging technologies, a GM spokesperson told Reuters. According to Semaphore, the digital assistant will operate differently from other chatbots like Bing Chat. GM is reportedly working on adding a car-specific layer on top of the large language models that power ChatGPT. The effort is part of a broader collaboration between the automaker and Microsoft. In 2019, the two partnered to work on autonomous vehicles. Microsoft is OpenAI's sole cloud provider, meaning GM's in-car assistant will almost certainly run on Azure. GM did not tell Semaphore whether it has a name for the software yet, nor did it share a potential release date. If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
Spoken Layer.